We're here today to talk about real estate.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Unlimited podcast. My name's Sierra Steinmetz.
Brian Shuby.
Kari Steele.
Bill Jones.
And we're the Jones Home Team.
And this is episode 39, almost episode 40, but we're getting there. We're just discussing tune on back for that. That's Zillow Gone Wild. Sierra was talking about Friends PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint night action.
Whatever the crap that is. So that's sounds entertaining here, but I don't know if we'll get to that. But it'll be fun. Well, Zillow Gone Wild will have some fun stuff there. But today, Kari's got some moving hacks, real-world solutions. Shuby's getting into the sexy topic of homestead exemptions and Ohio disabled veterans homestead exemptions. So that'll be pretty cool. Sierra, I'm already arguing with this list, but the 16 best places to live in Ohio. So
I'm not saying I made the list.
But yeah, and I'm getting into, I love AI stuff. So some fun, scary stuff and fun stuff with that then. So we'll kick it off. Kari, what you got here? Moving hacks.
Yep, I've got quite a few buyers that are in a position where they are getting ready to move. A couple of them asked me a couple of tips. What are people doing that are making their life easier? And it all boils down to common sense. I hate to say that, but there are some learned hacks from the internet and Pinterest and things like that. But then there's also some common sense tips stuff too. So me in my past, party planning, doing any kind of events, we like to have a mobile office. So just think of it like a tote or a station or a bag that has your tape, your Sharpies, all the things that you'll have. And then you can kind of drag it with you from room to room as you're packing versus where did I put the tape? You're sitting on the tape. You're sitting on, you can't find the scissors.
So smart.
I like that. So you just have a little Tupperware container with all the goodies
like a mobile office.
Okay, yeah,
right? Mobile
like
office. And that too, if you're going to the house, you could take it with you. And when you get ready to unpack, so your box cutter and all that stuff too. Keep it away from the kiddos, but
because that would be 100% me. I'm looking for the box opener or whatever tape, and it's in the other room.
It fell in a different box.
Yeah, right.
But put your
I have
tie
that pack
wraps,
stuff that you're trying to use.
like command strips, anything that you're buying that's going to be related to the move.
Right.
Mobile office.
Yeah.
And that's a good tip too for like event planners. Right now it's grad party time. So if you're planning graduation parties or weddings, we just had Lexi's wedding. So we did have like a little mobile office and the scissors were just right there every time. And that was great. So.
Now, does everybody actually, do you designate a person for that? Because I just know how that was going to work. Because Kelly grabbed something and I'm looking for it and she doesn't put it back, or the kids. Or,
I know. That's kind of just everybody kind of has to play nice in the sandbox.
Everybody has their own box.
You put 3 of each in there.
Hey, we did have a couple of pair of scissors so we could be efficient. But yeah, just throw everything in one area and kind of drag it with you.
I like that.
Spot to spot. So that's the first one. Packing a backpack. So depending upon when you move and who's in charge of the paperwork at your house, like bills and, all your important moving papers, get like an old school kid's backpack and just put all of your folders and bills in there, checkbook, all that stuff. And then, kind of right where it's at.
That's a good idea.
Time to pay.
So not just piled up by my coffee maker?
No, if you pack your office and you're like, oh my God, May's bills are in there and it's June 23rd. You're like, crap, did I, some of them on auto pay. I'm talking like a grandma here.
Sure.
But like all of your stuff is in one central location. So
right. Especially when you're in the midst of a move and everything else going on, you're not probably, you're getting distracted, I'm sure.
Especially like with birth certificates and all that kind of stuff, like important documents that you really don't want to lose. You might not, you need them for anything until you do. And
or put them in a safe box or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, that happened the one time. I was going to say they had a firebox and then they couldn't find it for like 3 months and finally found it packed in a box in the basement then.
No, just carry the firebox.
Yeah, it was birth certificates and all the things were just gone. Yeah.
That could be its own, like, what do you put in your firebox? That could be a good podcast topic.
Right.
I have fireboxes in my gun safe, so I think.
Do you really?
I don't think I'm going to lose my gun safe.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a good one. That's a good one. But like for your parents, I mean, I don't know how most people still do their bills, but a lot of them are kind of a hybrid between these ones get paid online and then we still get a statement maybe for utilities or mortgage or something like that. Medicine. So when you are packing, a lot of times you've got family and friends helping you pack. So before you actually get to the movers coming to your house, get a suitcase or a backpack like you're going to be leaving for the weekend, like a day tripper kind of bag.
Right.
And put your toothbrush, your medicine, all that stuff in that one bag. And then you've got a spot to work out of, just like your grab and go tote or your mobile office. You got something that you can quickly get to. So
Sure.
if you're going to a hotel or family friends for the layover,
Keep
period.
all the essentials with you.
Yeah. So it's good. I mean, it's something efficient so that you don't have to be
I'm starting to
digging.
drag a lot of crap around here. I got my mobile office. I got my bill bag. I got my toothpaste bag.
I mean,
right.
that or it's all going to be in a box in
You're
the back
right,
of a moving truck and you can't find it. So
Right.
these are just that's it. I mean, those 3 things. This one's kind of cool too. So take a picture of what's inside the box and label the box with a room and photo. Like I can't
That popped up. I just
see-
did a quick Google search. Yeah, it's, photograph your electronics before
disconnecting.
disconnecting. There was something else about taking pictures of everything else.
Like you don't want to do every single, like if
Right.
it's kids' books, you're not going to take a picture of the kids' books in the top of it. But if you've got like, maybe you're taking your top dresser drawer out and you've got grandpa's watch and, you know, you've got tissues, just specialty kind of items. Maybe you take a picture of that and just know like that's the keepsake. That's
Sure.
the important stuff.
Maybe like some of the antiques and the pricier, maybe the expensive things.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they covered a lot.
sure.
Yeah, the
Grandma's fine china.
first night move bag pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, like kitchen, books, yeah, you really probably don't need to do that. Oh, here's another
That's a
one, too.
Sharpie marker. Like this is overkill to me here. If you can see the picture, like
I'd hire
These
Tara.
poor
She could bring her
trees.
label.
I was going to
maker.
say that's so me right there. I would so
Like,
print those out.
a
and
black
put them-
Sharpie marker does
Yeah.
that books, dummy. You know, like,
Yeah, but now you
Yeah,
can
but then you can't reuse the
box.
box, Bill.
I don't care.
Scribble it out. That's what I do.
They make
I
new-
just
yeah,
scribble
just
it out.
angrily scribble that.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly
Save the
labeled.
trees.
Color code labels for
You were
each
very
room.
not very
I don't
eco-friendly.
know.
I'm
Bill.
not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I would get to the point where I'm color coding rooms, but I wouldn't put it past the 10 years ago me to do something like that. Don't pack your food with other stuff, and the same goes with chemicals. So if you're packing up your kitchen, don't pack your spice rack and under the sink together, obviously. But then also, too, if you're using a storage unit or pods or something, be careful about putting food items in there because of the
Critters. Yeah.
The critters, yep, and the change in the heat and humidity, too, because it'll ruin a lot of your stuff.
Right. I mean,
So,
any
but
storage unit you got to be
storage
careful with.
unit
Yeah,
critters.
those are terrible. Like you don't even need food in there, and they
Yeah.
get in there and destroy everything. But once you pack food up, yeah, you'd be
Like
good night.
roaches, yuck.
Mice, yeah, this
Yep.
beautiful couch,
Yep.
you know, would be gone.
That's a cute couch.
That's cute.
Spend money on new boxes. So like some people would say, well, I can go to Kroger and get banana
Oh, right.
boxes.
We're gonna have
or
to
I
fight.
Can go.
I don't know about that. New box? Are you gonna spend money
You're
on boxes?
So not buying boxes.
There
So
ain't no way I'm
here's-
buying boxes.
So here's where I'm at on that. If you go get like old boxes, number one, you're inviting unwanted pests because some of those have like spiders
Sure,
and critters
sure.
and stuff already in them, bed bugs. Like
All
you
right,
don't
Kelly,
know.
don't listen. The old boxes are fine.
You don't know where you're getting. If you know where you're getting the boxes from and they're in good shape, that's one thing. But if you're getting boxes that have been used by a grocery store, some of them have staining in them, or they've already gotten moisture, so the condensation has made the box fragile.
Sure.
Also, just if you're a Tetris stacker, if you get all these misshaped boxes and they're odd sizes, it's going to make it more difficult to pack and load the car versus nice, clean, square boxes. So it might
All
be
uniform size. I get
might be
that,
worth
yeah.
$1.97
I'm just gonna
or
figure it out. To be
$2.50.
honest, we're just gonna hope for the best.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much you have to move and how much crap you have to move on whether or not it's important to just buy the boxes. There was one other point I was going to make. Don't overload the boxes.
Yeah,
I'm kind of rambling, but like don't. You know, like
Yeah,
I
you don't want
said,
to make them too. I've done that.
those
You
kids'
pack them so
boxes,
heavy.
It's not
you
even a
can't
big
move
box,
them
but if
then.
you've
Yeah.
got books in there, I mean, you guys know, like books are really heavy and paperwork's really heavy.
I did see, so some, I guess, older people that must have a lot of money had boxes, like these wardrobe boxes. I'm telling you, like tons of these. And they were, I remember looking them up at the time. They were outrageously
Oh my
expensive.
gosh!
I mean, they had like a
well, don't go
basement full
that
of them.
crazy. Like you don't have to.
When you start buying boxes, I'm buying $14.
$16.48 for 5 boxes. No, get yourself
Actually,
a
I think they're
garbage
more than
bag.
that, like per, like these
wrap-
wardrobe ones.
Wrap a piece of tape around the top
I think
of
that
your
was
hangers.
$16.48 per box.
Yeah, it was like per
And
box.
that's
Oh,
if you buy
Lord.
5.
No.
See, and you can get a
thanks.
box for your bike.
Like that's just stupid. I'm not okay.
I
I'm
think
not like
I think that's more like your shipping.
I'd rather
it
get the
somewhere.
hard plastic totes that I could at least reuse.
Yeah.
Or
if I've got
whatever.
$1,100 trek bike, maybe I'll spend a couple bucks on a box.
Right.
But for the most part, the bike's probably just going to be thrown in the back of the vehicle and strapped down with the grill like everything else.
There, if you want to go completely overkill, you get the pallet, the Gaylord box full of uniform boxes.
There's Tara.
Yeah,
Tara's
I'm sure
showing
that's
up, moving.
outrageous. Like if you're moving across the
Yeah.
country, but okay.
We love you, Tara.
I know what you're saying, though. I like the idea of.
hilarious. No, you like briefly mentioned it just now, and I know it's on your sheet, but when you're packing all of your your clothes that hang
Yeah.
up, just putting the trash bag over a good section of them and tying it off and then just grabbing it by all the hangers and throwing it in the back of the car or whatever, because that saves so much time.
And you're moving them anyway. Clothes baskets. Take
Right.
the hangers out and like fold them in half in the clothes basket, and then take them to the new place, hang them up, and then bring that back.
Yeah.
And just do that a couple of times because you're moving them anyway.
Exactly.
And that's also a good time to get new laundry baskets. I don't know why. Like my laundry baskets look like absolute garbage.
They live through everything.
And I feel like I just need like new.
Literally all the
a good
dirty
time.
laundry in your life. I don't know. I can't bring myself to new boxes. I'm sorry, I
not
can't get
those
over that. I
prices.
know.
I mean,
well,
they're
where
like-
are you getting cheaper ones?
Like Walmart and Lowe's, places like that. Like $1.97.
I can barely afford to buy a new
$2.
house and move, let alone take out another mortgage for
No,
boxes.
but like, and not everything. I mean, obviously you can use used boxes for stuff from the garage and all that stuff. But like, we are talking about like the knickknacks, the antiques. Spend the money on the bubble
Right.
wrap. Spend the money. If whatever you're packing, stuff from the garage, you've got baseball stuff and kickballs and all this. That doesn't warrant a brand
Right.
new box. A shoe collection, for instance. But if
Sure.
you've got things that you want to protect and preserve, like your electronics and some of your nicer collectibles,
all my Star Wars collectibles.
all your
Priceless-
precious
all my
moments,
yeah.
and crystal china. But I think there's a time and place where new boxes are warranted. Not always, but yeah, the Ziploc baggies, I love that too. Especially like not in the moving world, but just you're taking something apart, throw all the screws, nuts, bolts, hex heads, throw it all in there, label it, and then tape it to the back of whatever it is that
Yes,
you're
that's
moving.
I've done that. We just did that this weekend with something. Yeah, you put them in a bag and literally attach it to the item then, so it doesn't come up, and put it in the same kind of location, like the left-hand corner or whatever, so you know where to look for it.
My mother-in-law taught me that stuff. She took care of everything so well, and I was just a savage. I'd just be like, "Oh, we'll find it." And
Yeah,
like
then
digging around for that one screw.
Yep.
5 years later,
Yep.
it's still missing a screw.
That's all.
All right, cool.
It's fun stuff.
Good stuff.
Well, I guess it depends. To me, it's like depends how far you're moving. I've only moved a handful
Yeah.
of times, and I'm usually the one doing it, so it's not that big a deal. Like all the clothes, I just get an armful of things off the hanger, throw it over the seat, drive to the new house, throw it up on the hanger. Like
Yeah.
it would have taken so much more time to use that cute little box and
That's true.
or fold it all. That would be Kelly folding everything up and making it all perfect, like you're going
Right.
on a trip. But who cares? I just literally take the
Take
whole
it out.
drawer full of
Wrap
clothes.
the drawer and then
No,
stick
just
it.
back
No,
of the car.
just the
Just
drawer.
go. You
No.
just go for it.
I've done that too.
It just goes. But again, that's just me moving across town or
That's
whatever. So I've
true.
only done it a few times. So
Yeah,
but I
all
have
three
seen,
of our moves. Our moves were like we're going from this apartment across over to this street, and then from this street over to that street. So
right. So, but yeah, if you're moving, I remember the one real estate Phyllis when she passed away, but her house, same thing. Just that she moved into there and had the huge boxes and just all the things, but had professional movers do it. Everything was, each little item, it was just nothing. Like the salt shaker had like 40 pounds of bubble wrap on it. I'm like, it's not a
It's a
precious
salt
moment.
shaker.
Yeah, it's like it's nothing,
Right.
but I don't know. All right, cool. So, and if you want to hire a professional mover, that's not a bad option too. They're not cheap, but that's a good way to go about it.
I forgot one. Recycle chemicals before you start moving. So find out when your local dump is for like all the extra paint and oil and all that stuff in the garage, because you're not supposed to leave any of that stuff behind unless it's.
Yeah, so that's a tip to all you sellers. Maybe they want the paint, maybe they don't, but ask. Don't just assume they're going to use it or want it.
That happened last year. The new buyers did not want the paint because they were going to change the color scheme anyway. They didn't need it. And so then there's just like shelves of paint. And she was like, well, I left it behind for them just so they can
think
have
they're doing
it,
a
whatever.
favor. Yep.
And so like, it was not out of like malicious intent whatsoever. But then they were like, well, what are we supposed to do with all of this paint?
Yeah, now we got to get rid of this. So yeah, the paint, the used, like the carpet squares, the little pieces of tile, all the things. It's probably handy, but I would just check because that next buyer might think I'm ripping this stuff out anyways. It's junk, so don't leave me that paint. All right, Shub, what do we got? Homestead.
Talk about homestead exemptions, and then a lot of people don't realize that Ohio veterans usually get homestead exemptions as well. Then, so
maybe a dumb question. I have to cut you off here. Is that just in Ohio or is that a U.S. thing? I don't even know. I know it's Ohio, but
I know because I was actually talking to somebody yesterday because a client that I had, which I didn't even happen to know at the time, a client that I had sold a house to last year. I was talking to one of their friends, and he's like, yeah, he doesn't have to pay property taxes because he's he's 100% disabled veteran, and that just
Property taxes at all?
at all.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they're like, did you know that, like, depending on your status of where you're at and, how much, if you're 80%, I don't think you qualify for all of it. But veterans that are 100% disabled, they get a huge reduction on their taxes, and then sometimes they don't have to pay property taxes at all then, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I was able to find this. This is just but to answer your question, I am honestly not sure.
I
But
don't
when
know either.
I did a quick, like, Google search when we were talking about it, and there were, for the veteran side of it, it looked like there were a lot of states that did exemptions for disabled veterans. Now, whether the homestead is the same, I'm not sure. But as far as the veteran side, I did see that.
I feel like as it should be. I mean, they serve the country. They're disabled.
Right, yeah.
Because I know when Bill gets done Googling.
Yeah, I'm
here,
Googling. I'm chat GPTing things.
When Bill gets done Googling the Ohio for the veterans.
Oh, sorry, you need to read this, don't you?
Yeah, the sheet.
Not all states offer the homestead. Though I think this is what ChatGPT says. Ohio, Florida, Texas, Georgia. Really, that's it. Michigan, California. So maybe not all of them.
So yeah, I guess if you're
So don't move to Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, or New England, apparently. You're not getting the homestead, if that's what you're looking for.
So if you're in one of those states, it'd be something you need to, you'd want to check into, because I don't think a lot of these are just automatically applied. I think you have to fill out a form.
Yeah, you have to apply.
And take it to the auditor's building. So this is just from I found from the Seneca County Auditor here in Ohio then, their exemption program, and it kind of outlines the qualifications and requirements then. So so for the general homestead exemption, I think you have to be at least 65 years of age, and then I think there was an income requirement there. I think you might have to scroll down a little bit. I think it was like $33,000. Yeah, $33,600. But Social Security income is not included as part of that income.
Good.
So it does not necessarily need to be.
So just be other retirement funds or other
Correct.
sources of income. Okay.
And then if you scroll back up, Bill, there. So just as an example, so it gives you a $25,000 reduction on your taxable bases for your home. So if the county's appraising your house at $100,000, really your taxable bases is only $75,000. That's kind of what the homestead exemption does. And then as far as the disabled veterans homestead exemption, I think that one, it kind of has, I think it's $50,000. It's up to $50,000 off of your taxable bases for your home. So again, $100,000 house, their taxable income or your taxable bases for your home is only $50,000 then.
Okay.
So again, if like I said, the veterans one, I honestly didn't realize that until last year, and I had somebody bring it up yesterday, so that's where I was like, oh, that'd be kind of something for people to realize. So if you are, and I think that also does apply towards the spouse. So once that disabled veteran has passed, I believe that spouse can still. I think if you
I
go,
threw it in the chat and I came up with something with that as well.
I feel like the cost could be higher than that with the
and like I said,
demand.
I know I believe the individual that I had heard, I don't think he pays any property taxes at all, just because, again, he's 100% disabled vet, stuff like that, which is absolutely crazy because obviously that can change your mortgage payment
considerably. Yeah. Which kind of goes back to, we were talking last week, that whole new bill, like property taxes being a thing or not, then would make a big difference.
Yeah.
But that's a case where I think that it warrants it.
For sure. Yeah.
How are they 100% disabled? How are they going to go out and make a living when I feel like it's up to, and that's arguably that gets political, but there's able-bodied people that can help those folks out, and you shouldn't have to be
they put
told
their
to
life
help
on the
them
line
out.
to
It
serve
should
our
just be
country.
something that we do.
Right.
So then, on that bottom section, how does the law affect surviving spouses then? So an eligible surviving spouse, and then it gives a couple of things they need to do, but I would say probably in most situations you're able to qualify for that then. So
Yep. So we had to retain ownership of the house and things like that. That's the biggest question we get, I guess, just in the real estate world, is how does that, if people even know about it. A lot of agents don't even pay any attention to that, and it turns into, if you're basing your purchase off of a house that already has a homestead exemption in there and you don't qualify for that homestead exemption, your tax rate's going to be higher than what that is currently. Yep. So you got to keep that in mind. And then a lot of times transferring it, people don't do that. I live at 123 Main Street and I'm moving to another home and I already have a homestead exemption.
Oh, yeah.
You need to reapply. A lot of people just think that's automatically.
Doesn't automatically.
No, I think you need to go do something at the auditor's office to make sure that transfers over.
I think there was a form or something on there that you
Yep.
could pull and download and print and fill out.
And it was like you have to be, what was it? Principal. You just have to do it by the end of the year, I think is what it was, in order to get to transfer over.
I think there was some dates on that form then.
Yeah, owner says the principal to residence as of January 1st of that tax year. They have to apply by the end of the year. Yeah, applicants must be submitted by December 31st of the current year to affect the following year. So yeah, I'm not sure when the actual time frame is.
So then maybe, I guess I'm getting deep in the weeds, but I was going to say maybe if they're already qualified and they move mid-year, then it prorates or carries
I think
over to
they
the
would
next.
be, as long as they get it applied and moved over, I think they'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I don't think they can they redo it mid-year? I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Not sure either.
Have to figure that out.
We could sit here and chat GPT.
I guess
all day
worst
and come up with
case,
all the answers.
even then, worst case scenario is they pay on the difference of the home. They're paying taxes anyway, but they pay the difference in the homestead exemption just for 6 months or however.
So I guess at the end of the day, if you're over 65 and either you're a disabled veteran or you're over the age of 65 and your income's below 33,600 minus your Social Security, this would be something you definitely want to check into if somebody doesn't mention it to you.
Yep. Make sure you get it transferred. Don't bank on it being, if you're a 25-year-old home buyer, don't expect to qualify for it.
Yeah, and I
unless you're a
guess
disabled vet.
if you're a younger home buyer and, I guess double check that this is included in your payment. Obviously, if you're buying a home that was owned by an older person, they may have been getting the homestead exemption, which you no longer qualify for. So, which I think most lenders take that into consideration when they're looking at it, but just to be safe.
And anybody can check for themselves. You go on to, I know Seneca County or surrounding counties, it'll go in there and say, is it a homestead exemption, yes or no? And it should have what the amount is, so it should be pretty easy.
I do see some agents also put it in the remarks or whatever.
Yeah, it's like when you're listing it in the MLS, it's like, does the homestead apply to this? And so, yeah, just check it out. All right, cool. Anything else, Shub?
No.
All right, Sierra, we're going to have to fight about this one here, too. So, best places to live in Ohio, 2025, 2026.
Written by Sierra Stein.
Yeah, I don't know who wrote this. RealEstateUSANews.com.
Yes,
so,
this is not
best
my
place
list.
to live, U.S. News.
I think this is just based off affordability. Commute is one that they put on there per the population, medium home value, and household income, stuff like that. Same with monthly rent and the median and whatnot. So I don't necessarily agree with all of these places. I think it's kind of funny.
What is it out of 10? Because that's a 6.1.
No, it's 15, I think they have on here.
Oh, even better.
16 out of 16. So we should have started backwards.
Oh, no,
The
score.
Oh, the score, overall score, okay.
Yeah, like a 4 is out of 10. Because if so, that makes sense.
Which late night guy used to do the top 10? Is it Letterman?
I feel like
Carson? I don't know who it was. Too old for you guys. You don't remember any of that. Do you want to start high or low?
We can start high because I think it gets kind of funny.
Like the lowest ranked ones first, or this one?
Yeah,
this
like
one.
number one.
Yeah.
Number one, Mentor, Ohio.
Wherever that is.
Right. What do we decide? Is that close to Cleveland?
I'm guessing that's probably up by the lake.
Yeah,
it
kind of looks like it.
I bet it's up by Cleveland area then. And then 6.1 overall. So median home value 22.9.
And if you click
rent.
see details, it kind of gives a little overview of the place and everything.
I wonder if that's by that
screwed
Geneva
up.
on the lake, because that's a pretty big deal up there.
Oh, true.
I don't know.
It is a beautiful place.
No, I'm gonna have my computer all screwed up here. We'll just
Go back.
if you want to Google it, find out where it's at.
Yeah.
So Mentor, Ohio.
Mentor, Parma, which that's Cleveland area, right?
Yep.
And then Columbus. I can see
home
Columbus being up there.
I love how the median home value is between 229, then 255, and this one's 154.
Right.
Household income. So household income in Columbus isn't very high either. Not near as high as I thought. There's
probably because Columbus City versus like Dublin, Delaware, places like that. They have their own zip code or whatever.
Yeah,
Columbus is
true.
awesome. I don't spend a lot of time in Mentor or Parma, but we spend a lot of time in Columbus.
Yeah.
It's a neat place.
I can agree with the Columbus one. I think there's so much to do and so many opportunities for a lot of different careers and stuff like that. And with it being the college there and stuff. I feel like for younger people, it might not be the most amazing, wonderful living situation, but there is affordable rent if you're okay with a little bit.
Yeah, it says median monthly rent $9.99. I feel like it's got to be higher than that.
Yeah, me too.
But again, I think that goes into with the college. I have friends that when they were there, it would be a 5-bedroom house, and they would be paying $500 or $600 a room
per head kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what offsets that.
And that's I'll argue with them too. The average commute 20 minutes. I don't know. Depends how far.
Depends on when you're commuting.
Yeah, you just get on. Was it 270 that goes around and you're stuck there for 20 straight minutes? That's not fun. Hamilton, Ohio, number 4.
Lima's the one I've got.
Lima.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's we'll have to see what Tiffin's median household income is then too, because I'm probably more than Lima, but
I
don't know how that makes number 5.
And I will
median
say,
home value $91,000. That's wild. And then Springfield.
Is that where they were talking about?
No comment.
Yeah, that was the
that
was the whole Haitian immigrant town then too. So they thought so. Number 6, they all want to go there. So I don't. Again, median household income's pretty low comparative to like Columbus and things like that. Lorraine
and Mansfield. What?
Mansfield's crazy too.
Yeah, Mansfield.
Yeah.
I would think
That's insane. Like Sandusky and Mansfield being flopped.
I would take Sandusky over
Lorraine
almost any of these, probably.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can put that one behind Columbus, probably.
We go. We kind of live that direction, but we're there. We're at Cedar Point over the weekend or before the end of the week, and then there's just so many things to do, and it's a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
They have Cane's.
They actually have a mall.
Chick-fil-A, we were there. Yeah, they still have a mall.
Yeah,
they have all kind of stuff.
They still have a pretty kicking mall, too.
Yeah, they do. Akron, number 10. Dayton.
I feel like Cincinnati's got to be above Dayton.
Oh, Cincinnati should be way up there.
You would sure think so.
I don't
know. Yeah, again, the household income, home values. Price difference, again, median home value between Dayton and Cincinnati, 107 to 235.
I don't believe that because
Yeah,
Lexi's down there and the cost of living is
in Dayton
or Cincinnati.
Right.
Like monthly rent, you can't find anything for that down there.
And
But they do have the university, so the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah. We get Toledo.
Number 13.
Toledo.
I don't know. That's one of those two to like. Yeah, Toledo's awesome, but it's also
kind of
just not so awesome in different spots too. So
isn't it the sex trafficking capital of the country?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, scary. And then Youngstown, Canton, and Cleveland. Which again, Cleveland. I don't know. It's awesome, but it's also it's not the cleanest. I mean, we've been up there for cheer for quite a few different things, and there's some areas that aren't that great right now. That
I'll
used
tell
to be
you
that
what,
bad.
the traffic in Cleveland is worse than anything I've ever freaking seen. It doesn't matter what you're doing or what time of day it is, you're gonna have an issue, and I hate that so much.
Right.
But I also grew up in Tiffin, so
that's what I was just gonna say. Caveat being, we're all from little,
7
tiny
minutes
town.
to get
Yeah.
everywhere.
But I seriously feel like anytime I've gone to Columbus for an event or something, the annoyance of getting out of Columbus has never been as bad as it is in Cleveland.
Well, you're talking probably when you're leaving a ball game, probably too, right?
Yeah,
the
right.
concerts, that's always a nightmare too. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this list, Sierra, but I like it. It's fun.
I can't believe Tiffin's not on there.
Yeah, I think their
So
math is.
rude.
Tiffin has hit some of those lists.
We don't want to be on any list. Leave us off the list.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to find us here. We're fine.
Yeah, no, it's good play. Tiffin, Finley,
Do
neither.
Bill on the left-hand side. There's if you scroll back up, you can rank by city size. Like do a small.
Oh, there you go. Small cities to live. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that goes.
Well, then change the select a state. Oh, I guess you can't do both. Maybe.
Well, we'll try. We'll do it on the fly here.
It changed.
Darn it.
Well, that's dumb. Nope, I tried. Well, there you go. Best places to live, I guess, in the country. Johns Creek, Georgia. Apex, North Carolina. How do you say that? Leander, Texas. I don't know any of these places. Rochester Hill, Troy, Michigan.
I've heard
been a
of
few
Troy.
of those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smashing Washington.
Smashing Washington.
I don't know any of these towns.
Pflugerville, Texas.
Pflugerville?
I feel safe there. I feel like.
Yeah, that'd be fun too. Best places to retire. It's got to be Florida, right?
I don't know. More
Naples,
people.
Florida. Yeah, for sure. I figured
More
Naples,
people are
Florida.
going to Texas for sure.
Virginia Beach. We'll be there in a couple weeks. That's a fun place.
Hamptons maybe for NYC.
Florida. Yeah, North Carolina. A lot of South Jacksonville, Florida. Everybody wants to be warm.
Warm.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, Tiffin's not on any of those lists, so
Nuggets.
neither's Finley. So, all right. I kind of want you guys all know who I'm talking about here. Kind of a scary thing. So with AI, I love it. I use it all the time for different things, but there's people like what we do, like those senior events and things like that, talking to people that they're downsizing, looking to make them next move in life, and it gets scary for them. It's a big move. It's a scary thing, but then you get these calls from, oh, the nephew's in trouble and needs money, and whatever's going on with that. I found a video here. See if I can. So this is AI. This is some guy reacting to it. I have one of those reaction videos. We'll see if we can actually hear it. But just picture yourself as you're, single older person, and you get one of these videos or you hear these things. It's already just kind of the world's.
Canada has declared war on the United States. Let's go to Joe Braxton, who is live at the border.
I'm currently at the border, but there is no war. Mom, Dad, I know this looks kind of real, but it's all AI.
So he'd be like, I'm being held hostage or somebody needs money.
This is just AI.
Can you imagine poor old grandpa getting a video like this?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm not in love with you, and I do not need your money for a plane ticket. I am AI.
This fake moon landing footage isn't classified. It's AI. You're probably wondering how I got rich with crypto. The truth is, I didn't get rich off crypto. I don't even exist.
You might be able to tell.
It's just crazy they can do this stuff.
But it's gonna keep getting better.
We're all AI. There could be
No, I don't like this.
but I'm not
So I would totally believe that one.
I'm AI.
The last one's real.
The herbal supplement did not cure my cancer. I'm not even real.
Or you get the idea. So it's just, I love what you can do with that. But if you're poor old, mom or dad somewhere and you get one of these videos, like, what do you do? Especially if somebody's like, oh, I'm in jail or I'm in trouble or I'm kidnapped
Man.
or the one that really struck out to me was the girl from Slovakia or whatever. I need a plane ticket because I'm in love with you. That stuff. I mean, I'm dealing with a client right now that's going through that.
I went to Walmart to buy a gift certificate or a gift card, and the lady said, we've had a lot of theft lately. She's like, you're not buying that to send it to somebody, are you? And I'm like,
Right.
no. She's like, no, it's a big scam. Like, you didn't meet anybody online. I'm like, it's $100 gift card to Walmart. I'm not sending it.
But I'm glad they're actually asking
Yeah, that
that
was-
stuff.
I mean,
too,
she was
you know?
very concerned about my well-being. I'm like, it's literally $100 gift card to Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, it must happen so often.
I think it does. It really does. My grandmother, before she passed, had those calls all the time. And going back to that same client, I'm with him. I'm literally driving him around, and his phone is just ringing and ringing and just nonstop ringing. I'll call him Bob. That's not his name. But,
Yeah.
Bob, I'm like, do you have to get that? He's like, oh, no, it just rings all day long. I'm like, is anybody there? He's like, no, half the time nobody's even there. Sometimes I'll, get somebody and they'll talk to me, and I'm like, are they asking for anything? No, not all the time, but sometimes.
Oh,
and it
geez.
just, I'm telling you, it rang 40 times when he was with me.
Well, I'm sure once they get that initial money, they're like, hey, this guy is gonna be willing
Right.
to give
Yeah.
us money, and they just, why not just keep calling and asking
Yeah.
for stuff
Or
if they know
even-
they're gonna get it?
Even just if he answers too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would just ring and ring and ring and ring. And I'm like, well, no wonder he doesn't answer the call when I call because it's like
Ringing.
I'm one of 78 calls he got in the last hour. So,
Oh,
and my
man.
grandmother would get the same thing. She would get a call and she'd call us and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so needs help. Or what does this guy want? He says, I need to do something with my house. Like, grandma, just hang up the phone.
Yep.
Like you're fine. You don't need to talk to this person.
How
but
scary for them.
yeah, so I feel like it's only going to get worse with this AI
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Like that whole video, again, I don't know who that guy is or if it's actually real or not, but I know personally you can create stuff like that. And, well, yeah, what's the world going to look like? You're not going to be able to differentiate real
Real
from
from-
not real. If we're kind of in it, it kind of can't tell the difference. If I'm 85, 90 years old, you're definitely not going to be able to tell, I feel like. So, I don't know.
Especially when you've never been exposed to anything
Yeah.
like that before.
Right. Well, the
We
one.
were at- Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We were at the nursing home with grandma, and we were showing her how with AI they're bringing back historical figures and making them alive and like
Oh my
moving
gosh, yeah.
moving pictures, and it just blew her mind.
George Washington told me I need to sell my house. Yeah, like that's just wild. But yeah, that would be the one. The one that struck out to me is why I brought it was the one girl that needed. I'm in love with you. I need plane money or I need a ticket to go somewhere. And that's the gentleman I'm dealing with. Is kind of the same thing. It's you just know they close on their house, send them into the bank, and like, are they going to have their money or are they not? Hopefully they have family or somebody, friends that can help look out for them. But
or a good agent.
Yeah, a good agent to kind of help
that
step in
cares,
there and try.
Really, because
But at the end of the day,
you might be the only person that talks to them, you know?
At the end of the day, we can only do so much,
Right.
you know, like what are you going to do? So it's scary. And then the family that comes out of the woodwork that suddenly wants money that's not there to help before. Now suddenly mom or dad or grandma sold the house and, we need money. That's not a deep fake. That's not AI. That's just, just people. So the other thing was too how scammers using AI to steal people's homes. I don't know if this is about multi-million-dollar properties. This is not a home anywhere near us, but
that's my house.
I think Shuby's building that. Yeah. Aerial photo of Brian's place with the tennis court.
The place that, like, online they always say is Justin Bieber's mansion.
Probably. I bet that's his room right there, overlooking the pool. So, but again, just getting into the different ways of how people are using AI to scam and do different things like that. So, I don't know. Watch out. It's scary out there. I don't really. I guess. What do you guys suggest for tips, or what can you do?
If you're not sure, ask someone else before you do anything. If they're asking for your credit card or social security number or anything like that, they wouldn't do that in a random phone call.
Well, I got scammed over the weekend because our dog sitter had shared something about help me find my lost pet or lost whatever, and it was like a group. And I'm like, oh, I know her. And I click on it, and then all of a sudden there's like all of these messages that auto-populate with a revealing image on the left-hand side. And I'm like, dang it. Like, I know her. I know it's about pets. I know how passionate she is about pets.
Sure.
And it was just simply like basically help me spread the word that I lost my dog or my cat or whatever it was. And
is that what you were buying the gift card at Walmart for then? Exactly. To help out?
Exactly it. Exactly it.
Yeah,
that's. But how do you when you yourselves are getting tricked? How do you help people? And it's like, back in the day, you knew not to share things that were like, don't click on this, don't open this. But if it looks super realistic, and it's targeting you to your heartstrings, something that maybe you donate to the Red Cross, maybe blood, you give blood, and they're like, type in your credentials to verify that you're you, and now all of a sudden they have it. It's like, man, you just don't know.
And then send it to me because I don't give money for anything.
You're not giving money away. Yeah. But the AI thing where they're making stuff look unbelievably real. So real. Like, so I had the one, it was a Wells Fargo. My Wells Fargo account was in jeopardy and I needed to do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, I don't even have a Wells Fargo account. Let's play. So you went to this website and it looked legit. And I'm putting in my username, which I don't have there, but my password. And they're like, oh, that didn't work. Try again. And I'm like, what is this? So,
dang.
So, yeah, if somebody with a Wells Fargo account, watch out. But that happens with pretty much anything. There's so much. We'll have to look more into that then, too, with real estate. People, you see all the talking heads selling, like, title, instead of, like, LifeLock, it's like Title Lock. Mm-hmm. I don't know enough about it, but where you can kind of lock your house down, where someone can't forge a deed or basically steal your home without you knowing that. Yeah, I guess that happens now, or it's been happening to where someone can, in theory, take your home without you knowing it, and then you got to fight to try to get it back. So,
it's my house.
Yeah, well, not anymore. I guess it got deep faked, and it's somebody else's now. So, I don't know enough about that. I don't know if you need that or not, but
not Shuby. He's got his in a file, in a lockbox, in a firebox, in a gun safe,
buried in
a bunker.
Field. Yeah. All right, cool. So just be careful out there, folks. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. That's the title office guy said the same thing. This is way before AI or any of that stuff. And sold his house, and they again took the money to the bank, and right away they caught it because he was trying to send money to somebody, and the dude had lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when he sold his house, they did the same thing, and they kind of put a stop to it. But again, the bank's going to say, oh, hey, don't do that with your money. Hey, it's my money. Let me do what I want with it. So they can't really stop you. But yeah, the poor guy lost a ton of money. So watch out. I don't know. Yeah, send all your fake emails to Shuby. He'll take them. So, all right. We'll wrap it up there. Check back next week. Episode 40. We'll do Zillow Gone Wild. Have Sierra present her PowerPoint, and we'll go from there. So like, subscribe, do all the things. We will see you next time, folks.